on how to set up an order for a party and place an order. So this is what your workstation looks like when you first sign in. And then what you're going to want to do is come up here. You'll see these little tabs up at the top. You're going to want to click on orders. Now there are different types of orders that you can do. So individual order, that's going to be if there's just one person ordering, or maybe you don't quite have a qualified party but you have people that just want to go ahead and order. They don't want to wait for a qualified party. You would use this individual order. Next is a home party, and that's just basically exactly what it says. If you do a home party where it's set at a specific day at a specific time, you would use this. Basket party, those parties are usually about a week to 2 weeks long. They take the scents and then they return the orders to you at the end of the party. Fair or show, this is where you'd place an order if you were going to do a fair or a show and you were basically getting stock in order to do so. Fundraiser, I've never really used. Usually I'll just do basket party when I do a fundraiser. And then of course the Scentsy family store, that's where you can get all your business supplies. You can click on that and that'll take you directly to there to place that order. So for just training purposes, we're going to go ahead and do a basket party. So you're going to click on basket party and it's going to take you to something like this screen. So if you have a website, it's going to ask you, would you like to show this party on your PWS and customize your party page? You always want to say yes, because you never know if your hostess is going to get some outside orders, or if they're doing a basket party, if they're going to have someone order who's not local to them. This is going to allow it to where they can order from your website and it would still go to that party. So here is where you're going to put when the party is going to start, launch my party date. So when you click on it, it's going to give you a calendar and you can select a start date. So we'll just say we're going to start it today on the 28th. I don't usually mess with the time. That's a personal preference. If you want to add a time, you can change the time right here of when you want it to launch. And then close party page on. Now what's going to happen is whatever date that you choose, we're going to go with the 11th, that'll be 2 weeks. Whatever date you choose, that party, it won't close out of your workstation. It'll still be available under your pending parties if you haven't closed it yet. But what's going to happen is it's no longer going to show up on your website. Like they can click the party link and it'll say that this party is no longer available. So on over to here, we're going to go over to host info. Whoops, my screen did a jump. Try it again. Okay, so over here is where you're going to put your host's info. If you are the host, you click this little box and it's going to put all of your personal information in there, your address and such. But if you are not the host, you don't want to click that box, and then you just start here and start putting in all the information that you need. I do believe you have to have at least first, last name, and the street address. Email and phone number, I believe, is optional. And then down here at the bottom, ship this party to, you can choose host, consultant, or other. Now, usually personally, I always have it shipped to myself. That way I can put the order together, you know, put my personal touches on it before it ships out, before I give it to the host or personally deliver it to each customer. Now, if my host doesn't live local to me, it's kind of almost impossible for me to meet up with them to give them their party orders. Then I will choose host, have the party shipped to the host, and then the host would be the one that would have to separate it and everything else. And the bad part about that is it won't get your label on it. So it won't be able to get in customers' hands with your information on it for when they want to reorder. So that's the downside to that. But so if you click host, all the information that you put up here for the host will come down here. If you click consultant, it'll put all your information in there on where the party is going to be shipped to. Now it's important that if your host isn't local, that you have it shipped to them, just because what's going to happen is anybody that orders from the party, it's going to get shipped to the hostess. Now, if they aren't local to the hostess, they're going to end up having to pay for shipping. So you want to make sure you choose the right one, because you don't want to have it sent to you and then you have to turn around and pay for shipping to have it sent elsewhere. So for demonstration purposes, we're going to go ahead and just use consultant as host, and we're going to ship to consultant. So then your page will look like this. It'll have all the consultant information and in the top and in the bottom. And then I'm going to click continue to customize my party page. Now this is where you can choose your party name. And I usually call it exactly whatever it is. So we'll just say Georgette's Basket Party. And then after that, you just click next. You are more than welcome, let me close this out. You are more than welcome to change the title of the party message. It's going to show up where this number 2 is. And then you can even add a little body to it of what you'd like to say to the guests that are coming to the party. So I usually just leave that with the default and just click next. They'll have some videos or images. If you have some particular videos or images that you would like to use personally, this is where you could add that. I just use default, so you click next. Featured products. So this is something that if I do change anything, I usually change this. So as far as for my featured products, I choose things that are big sellers with my customers, or products that have been really hot lately in Scentsy and things like that. But sometimes, most of the time, I'll just keep it with use defaults. And you can even view the defaults if you'd like. See, it shows you the 3 products right now that are being used. If you don't like those 3 products, then you can choose from my featured products and feature your own. So we're going to go ahead and build the party page. And then this is what your page is going to look like. So if you need to get the link to your host, you're going to click on this copy party link, and then you can copy and paste that into a Facebook Messenger, or even if you're doing it from your phone, you can send it through a text message. I've done that a lot. So if you want to view your party page and see what other people are going to see when they go to the party, you just click on that view my party page, and it'll show you how long it's going to be until the party ends. And then here's where it shows that message. Of course, you're going to get a pop-up since you joined the party. And then it's going to say glad you're here and all that information. And then pretty much just like it said it was going to be when you set it up. So that's what that's going to look like. And then what you want to do is, once you're in here, the host is automatically added. They get their own cart just from creating the party. Now, in order to add the other guests, we're going to click add new guest. And then this is where you're going to put, if it's being direct shipped to them, you'll want to make sure there's a yes in this little, or a dot in this little yes. Just make sure that that customer knows that if it is direct shipped to them, that there will be shipping cost, whether the party qualifies or not, because it's not being shipped to the same place as the rest of the order. If they gave you an email address on their order form, go ahead and click this yes to subscribe to my guest newsletter. The awesome thing about having a website besides getting orders is Scentsy sets up an awesome newsletter that they send out every month to your customers. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. Now, you can go in and personalize it, and that'll be another training for another day. So we're going to hit yes, and we're just going to type in John Smith. Well, here, let's just click one of my own customers. Email. Well, basically this is where you would put all of that information for each customer. Now you can save and add another, and basically keep on repeating these steps until you have all of your customers added. If this is the only customer that you need to add, let me get rid of that. If this is the only customer that you need to add, you just click save and return to carts. So for demonstration purposes, because I'm about out of time, we're going to go ahead and just say that John has ordered a diffuser. So you just start typing in the word, and it'll start showing up what you're typing in. So we'll just say he's going to get an involved diffuser. And a 6-pack of bars. This is a great example of a multi-pack. So with the 6-pack of bars, we're just going to choose quantity of 1. You're going to go ahead and click add to cart, and then what it's going to do is it's going to take you to this other screen where you can add the scents. So let's just say baked apple pie. So you start to type it in and it shows up. We'll do 2 of those. And then another popular scent, clean breeze. We'll do 2 of those. And then you'll notice, see how the bar's red up here? Now, once I enter the next item, once I have my 6 required, that red is going to go away, letting me know that, hey, you've entered the required amounts. So then you just go to save multi-pack, and it enters it right into the cart. Now you'll notice over here, or excuse me, let me scroll down. You'll notice that it's charging him shipping right now. That is because this is not a qualified order yet. A qualified order is when an order reaches $200. So we want to see this host base up here, right over here, where it says $139.50. That needs to reach $200. Well, let's just say that that's all of John's order, but I would like to get Lenny. I don't think Lenny's available yet, not until the 1st. Okay, let's get Gage the robot. Let's get a Scentsy buddy, add to cart, because you can purchase your own items. So this is another multi-pack example, and let's just go with a clean breeze scent pack, and then add it, and then come over here to save multi-pack. So how close are we? We still need another $50. So I'm going to go ahead and add a diffuser. And we'll go with Aspire. We'll add that to the cart. And now you'll see that everybody has free shipping. Because if you look over here, you're over $200, and that's a qualified party. Now you will also see half price item, you've earned 1. Perpetual party reward, you've earned 1, and here's your host credit. Excuse me. Your host credit is what you get for free. So you will also notice, which this a lot of times will confuse people, a host reward fee of $5. Now what happens is if you don't take your host credit, it's going to charge you $5. Or not your host credit, excuse me, your half price item. It's going to charge you $5. So we don't want that. So if you don't have a lot of money to spend, the best thing I suggest is to get light bulbs. So what you want to do is when you're using your half price and host credit, over here you'll see 3 different options. You can either do retail price, which is where you pay full price. You can use your half price or your host credit. Now you'll want to make sure you have a black dot in whichever one you use before you start typing it in. So for our half price, we're going to go with a 15-watt 3-pack. And that'll add to our cart. So it shows that we've taken that. And then for host credit, let's just do, I'm trying to think of another. We'll do Lexi the Lemur Buddy. And we will add Sunkissed Citrus for our scent pack, and then click add, and then save multi-pack. Now you'll see that was host credit. Now what you see over here, this $285, what that means is you earned $27.15 for host credit, but you used $30, which is okay. You can take more host credit than what you've earned. You'll just end up what's called an overage amount. So you just have to pay the difference.